It all began like a fairy tale. She was a stunning Arab woman, admired for her grace and humility, living a simple yet fulfilling life in her hometown. One day, fate brought her face to face with a man who would change everything, a charming and wealthy millionaire, known for his lavish lifestyle and generous heart. The moment their eyes met, it was as if destiny had intertwined their paths. He was captivated by her elegance and beauty, while she was drawn to his charisma and the kindness behind his smile. What started as an innocent meeting soon blossomed into a whirlwind romance that swept them both off their feet. Their love story was something out of a dream, one that everyone envied and celebrated. He showered her with gifts, promises, and affection, assuring her that he would give her the world. For her, it was more than just love. It was an escape into a life she had never imagined for herself. When he proposed to her in the most extravagant way possible, under the glowing lights of an exclusive resort, she couldn't help but say yes. Their wedding was announced as the event of the year, a union of love, wealth, and celebration. Little did anyone know this fairy tale was heading toward a dark and tragic twist. As the wedding day drew closer, the preparations reached a fever pitch. It wasn't just a marriage, it was an event that everyone was talking about. The venue was a breathtaking palace adorned with shimmering lights and intricate floral arrangements designed to reflect the grandeur of the couple's love. The bride's dress was the centerpiece, a masterpiece created by a world-renowned designer embellished with diamonds and intricate embroidery. It was said to be worth a fortune, yet its beauty paled in comparison to the radiant joy on her face. The guest list included dignitaries, celebrities, and the wealthiest names in the region. Journalists clamored for details as this wedding was more than just a private celebration. It was a spectacle, a symbol of luxury and love that captivated everyone. Despite the splendor, there was a quiet tension in the air. The groom's family, though polite, seemed distant and reserved. Whispers circulated about their reluctance to accept the bride, given her modest background, yet the millionaire silenced all doubts, promising to make her the happiest woman alive. The bride's friends and family watched in awe, their hearts swelling with pride and happiness. For her, this was the start of a dream life, one filled with love, luxury, and the promise of a bright future. But in the shadows of this grand celebration, fate was preparing something no one could have ever foreseen. The wedding day arrived, and it was nothing short of a fantasy. The palace was alive with light and laughter, and the air buzzed with excitement as the guests arrived, dressed in their finest attire. The bride, in her magnificent gown, looked like a vision of perfection as she stood before the mirror, her hands trembling slightly with nervous anticipation. As she walked down the aisle, all eyes were on her. Gasps of admiration filled the room as she made her way toward the man she loved, the man who had promised her the world. Her heart raced, but it wasn't out of fear. She was overcome with happiness, believing she had found her forever. The ceremony was a flawless blend of traditional Arab customs and modern elegance. Vows were exchanged under a canopy of roses, with the backdrop of a setting sun painting the moment in golden hues. The couple's love radiated, and the applause seemed to echo for eternity. When the reception began, the mood turned festive. Guests danced, toasted to the couple's future, and admired the extravagance that surrounded them. Laughter and cheer filled the hall, and for the bride it felt like the start of a perfect life. But amid the celebrations, there were subtle, almost imperceptible signs, glances exchanged, hushed whispers that hinted at something darker brewing beneath the surface. For now, though, no one suspected a thing. The night belonged to joy, or so it seemed. Little did anyone know this day of dreams was about to take a turn so tragic that it would leave everyone in shock. As the night reached its peak, the reception hall was alive with music, laughter, and celebration. The bride was glowing, her joy lighting up the room as she danced with her husband and greeted the many guests. It was a night to remember, a celebration of love and happiness, or so everyone thought. Amid the festivities, the bride suddenly paused, clutching her chest. Her smile faded and confusion flashed across her face as she stumbled. Gasps filled the room as she collapsed, her body limp on the elegant marble floor. Guests rushed toward her, chaos erupting in the once jubilant hall. The groom knelt beside her, his cries piercing the stunned silence. A doctor among the guests attempted to help, but it was too late. Within moments, the unthinkable was declared. The beautiful bride, who had moments ago been the picture of happiness, was gone. Shock waves rippled through the crowd. How could a day filled with so much joy take such a devastating turn? The room, once filled with laughter, now echoed with sorrow and confusion. What had caused such a sudden and heartbreaking end? The dreamlike atmosphere of the wedding shattered into a million pieces, leaving everyone to grapple with the weight of the tragedy that had unfolded before their eyes. As the initial shock subsided, questions began to surface. How could a healthy young bride die so suddenly? Theories spread like wildfire among the grieving guests. Some suspected it was a natural cause, a hidden medical condition that had gone undetected. Others whispered about darker possibilities. Could foul play have been involved? Was the bride targeted by someone who resented her, or did the tension between her and the groom's family lead to something more sinister? Authorities arrived to investigate, and the wedding became the center of intense scrutiny. The groom appeared devastated, yet his reaction sparked subtle unease among those who watched him closely. Was his grief genuine, or was it hiding something? Rumors swirled about the groom's family, wealthy, powerful, and known for their strict expectations. Whispers hinted that they were unhappy with the match and might have intervened in ways no one dared to speak aloud. As each revelation added more layers to the mystery, the family of the bride demanded answers. The joy of the wedding had turned into a quest for truth, and what they were about to uncover would leave everyone speechless. The investigation into the bride's death unearthed shocking revelations, turning what seemed like a tragic accident into a story of intrigue and betrayal. Initial findings revealed that the bride's sudden death was not natural. Traces of a mysterious substance were discovered in her system, poison. The question was, who could have done it? The groom's family came under scrutiny. It was no secret that they had opposed the marriage from the start, believing the bride wasn't worthy of their prestigious name. Suspicion fell on the groom's mother, a figure known for her cold demeanor and controlling nature. Could she have orchestrated this tragedy to protect her family's honor? Then came another twist. A friend of the bride revealed that the groom had a hidden past. He had been married once before, and his first wife had also died under mysterious circumstances. Had the groom carefully hidden this history from his new bride? And if so, was he connected to both deaths? What started as a love story quickly unraveled into a tale of dark secrets. The bride's family, devastated and angered, vowed to fight for justice while the groom remained at the center of the storm. Each revelation brought more questions. Was this a crime of passion, revenge, or the result of a family protecting its reputation at all costs? The once perfect fairy tale was now a nightmare, and the truth was more chilling than anyone had expected. After weeks of relentless investigation, the truth finally came to light, and it was more shocking than anyone had imagined. It was revealed that the poison in the bride's system had been deliberately administered. The culprit was someone no one had suspected, a close family member of the groom, acting out of loyalty to the family's name. Driven by anger over the marriage and fear of tarnishing the family's legacy, they had made the devastating decision to eliminate the bride. The groom, though not directly involved, was found guilty of hiding crucial information. His past marriage and the death of his first wife, coupled with his family's strict control, painted a picture of a man torn between love and obligation. The bride's family was shattered, their trust in the groom and his family forever broken. The wedding, once a symbol of love and unity, became a bitter memory of betrayal and loss. The culprit faced the full force of the law, and and the family's reputation was permanently tarnished, the groom, left isolated and disgraced, would forever carry the burden of what had transpired under his roof. The tragedy left a lasting impact not only on the families involved, but on everyone who witnessed it. The once beautiful bride became a symbol of innocence lost, and the dangers of unchecked power and pride. Her family mourned her deeply, their grief compounded by the knowledge that her life was taken so cruelly on what should have been her happiest day. They vowed never to let her memory fade, sharing her story to warn others about the dangers of blind ambition and control. As for the groom, he was left with a lifetime of regret. His wealth, his reputation, and his family's influence could never undo the damage done. He withdrew from public life, living in the shadow of a love story that had ended in unimaginable sorrow. This story is a stark reminder that sometimes love and happiness are not enough to protect against darker forces at play. The bride's tragic fate serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the grandest dreams can shatter in an instant, leaving only questions, sorrow, and lessons for those left behind.